In this episode, I want us to list my hotels and my bookings. All we need to do is to create those pages. So I can close everything. I come to app, and right here we create a new folder. Let's start with my hotels. We create a page .tsx and status functional component. We'll be having a div. Here are your hotels or your properties, whichever you want to use. Then we can add a class name, a text to be to Excel, font to be semi bold. Okay, very nice. We come right here and we'll have hotel list, and we'll have hotels to be equal to, we'll say hotels. We should get these hotels. So here we will add a function get hotels by user id.ts. We can copy one of these, like this one. I'll copy it, Control A, Control copy. We come right here and we paste it. Here we will say get hotel by user id. We will not receive any id because we can get the id from Clerk auth, and we will say const user id will be equal to auth, and we will invoke that. So here we have hotels. We await prismadb.hotel.findMany. Then here we will have instead of id, we will get the hotels by user id. Okay, it's complaining that user id might be null. Since key and value are the same, you can just say user id, but here we should make sure that this id exists. So if we don't have the user id, we will come here and we will say throw new error unauthorized. Then at the end here we'll check if we don't have hotels, we return none, else we return the hotels, and that will be our function get hotels by user id. So right here const hotels is equals to we await get hotels, get hotel. It should be get hotels, so we can change this to hotels, and this will be get hotels. We import it, and let's remove this one now. Then we invoke that. We mark this as an async. Now we bring in this hotel list. We can make sure that we have hotels. If we don't have hotels, we will immediately return here no hotels found. I save, and I hope that makes sense. And believe it or not, I think that is all we need to do to list our hotels, because we already created our hotel list. We click on my hotels, that will go to my hotels. Here are your properties. It will list all the hotels that I have created in this platform, and amazingly we will have an edit button now. And right here, if I click on any of these, I can now go to the edit page where we can get to edit that hotel. And our edit button is not working because we didn't correctly pass right here whatever we should be passing. So let's check that one. So we go to hotel list. Hotel list will have hotel card, so we go to hotel card. Then we check for that edit button, and we said here we should be having stroke. Okay, I missed that, so I go ahead and save now. If we now click the edit, it should take us to the edit form. And now look, we are able to edit our forest hotel. Even remove the image, add rooms, and so on. I'll come now to app and I'll add a new folder, and we'll say my -bookings. We will add a page, status functional component, and we will say my bookings. We'll be having a div. We can add a class name, flex -column, and we'll have a gap of 10. Now here we can have two sections, so we can show the bookings that I have made on other people's hotel, and we can have all the bookings that other people have made on my hotel. I hope that makes sense. So if I own a property, I should be able to see all those people who have booked. And if I book, I should also be able to see the bookings that I have made, okay? So first of all, we add some actions, and I'll add a file, and one of these will be get bookings by hotel owner ID, and we'll also be having another one, get bookings by user ID .ts. For this one, these are the bookings that I have made, and for this one, these are the booking that all the other people, including me, have made on my hotel. So starting with this one, we will export const get bookings by hotel owner ID, and right here we will say async. We invoke that, and right here we can have a try and catch block. For the error, we can simply log it to the console, so console.log of the error, and right here we can draw a new error, and right here we'll say error. The error is unknown or it's any, so const user ID should say equal of coming from Clerk.js. We check if this user exists. So if we don't have this user ID, we'll go ahead and draw a new error. Const bookings will be equal to, we await, and we'll say prisma db from our lib, and we'll say dot booking, and we'll say dot find many. We invoke that and we filter out the data here. So we'll say where full colon, and right here we'll say hotel owner ID full colon user ID. We will say here include full colon room to be true, hotel to be true, order by full colon. Here we will say booked at to be descending. I save. So we'll have the other one, so I can copy this one, copy, come to get bookings by user ID. So I paste it here. So we change the function, we get the user, we check if the user exists, then we'll have bookings dot await prisma dot find many, and here we'll have where instead of hotel ID here we get that by user ID. Here we'll say include the room and the hotel, we order by descending, and as you can see everything else is remaining the same. Okay, there is one thing we didn't do at the bottom here. After we get our booking, we should be able to return something. So here we'll say if we don't have the bookings, here we will return null, but if we have the bookings, we will return the bookings. So I copy those two lines, I save, I come to this one, and I will paste them just right here, and I save. So add components, booking. So here we will add a card, my bookings client.tsx. So what I'll do, I'll go to room and we'll take this room card. We will take all of these, Control A, Control copy. Then I'll come to my bookings client.ts. I paste it here. Okay, now this will be my booking. Let's change these names. My booking client, and this one here will be my booking client props. I can pass the type right here as a react.fc. We'll say my booking client props, and I remove this part. I will copy this. Let's make sure that is what we export right here. Then I come back, I will change the type here. So I will remove this and I'll say booking. We will be having booking. This booking will be having the room of type room, and it will be having hotel of type hotel, and here we will receive that booking. So there are some things that we will not do on this page. We don't need to have the date picker range. We will not be adding the room. We remove also this one, the dialog import. So I think most of these others will be there. I think we can remove one of these. So I remove booking is loading. For open, this was for the dialog, so I will remove that. A date and set date, we will not be selecting the date ranges. Even the total price I will remove. Include breakfast I will remove. Days and set days I will remove. So instead here we can be able to initialize payment. So I'll add right here payment loading, and we will be having set payment loading. Okay, these will be equal to use state. We will invoke that and we'll say false. All this stuff here, I don't really think we'll be needing them. Let's just add the one that we will need. So first of all, we need to show the country, the state. So right here, I'll say const country will be equal to, we first need some functions actually. Const we destructure from use location hook, and right here we will have get country by code, and we'll have get state by code. Now right here I'll just say get country by code, and I will invoke that, and I'll say hotel dot country. We don't have hotel directory, so what we can do, we can actually destructure it from booking. So here I can say const we destructure the hotel, and I destructure the room, and all those will come from booking. So now we can use hotel and room directory like this. Very nice. So now right here we'll say const we say state to be equal to, we get state by code, we invoke that, and we pass the hotel dot country, and also we pass the hotel dot state, just like that. Now right here I also get the user ID that will come from our use of, and we invoke it. Another thing that we should be having is a router, so I'll say const router will be equal to use router, like that, and we invoke it. So another thing that I'll be wanting to show is the date, so I'll say const start date right here, and we'll set that to be equal to, we will use moment from moment. So here we'll pass the booking dot start date, and then at the end here we add a format. That will be the format, alt shift bottom arrow to duplicate that line. Then here we'll be having the end date, then moment dot booking dot right here end date dot format, we do the same, and then right here we'll have const day count to be equal to difference in calendar days, like that, and we say booking dot end date comma booking dot start date. So we'll get this difference in calendar days from our date fns. We'll also be needing a toast. We will not be having this use effect, so we remove that use effect. We will not be having disabled dates, so we remove disabled dates. We will not be having the dialog open, we remove it. So we remove both of those, disabled date and dialog open. Okay, very nice. Here we have handle room delete. We will not be doing that, so we remove that. Here we have handle book room. We will have it, and let's see what we can change. We'll check if we have the user. We will check if we have the hotel. Now this will be capital H hotel. So I'll basically remove this if statement. So if I remove that, I should also come to the very end and remove this section. If we get a booking from the backend, most likely it will be having the necessary dates. Now right here, I'll set payment is loading. I think booking make more sense because we are not actually performing the actual payment here. Instead of this, you can say booking is loading, set booking is loading. Let's come here, handle book room, set booking is loading, that is okay. Then right here we'll prepare the room data. So here we'll say room with capital R, then the total price here will be available at booking dot total price. Breakfast included will be available at booking dot breakfast included, start date and end date. So these ones will be available at booking dot start date, and this one will be available at booking dot end date. We scroll down here, we set room data to be booking room data. Oh, okay, it's complaining because of the room, so here we set the room to be room, like that. We create or fetch a payment intent, but we should change all these. So this hotel will be starting with a capital H. This one, capital H, will be having room.id. Our booking room data dot start, our booking room data dot end, our booking room data dot breakfast included. The total price will be our booking room data dot total price. So for all these to work, all these rooms to work, we start with capital R. So I can highlight room dot and then use Control D to carefully select all the rooms. Okay, and I'll say capital R dot, so that will be the correct way. Okay, we have an issue here with our arrow function. Okay, something is wrong with handle book room since I removed the if statement. So right here at the end, you should be having 1, 2, and 3. You should not be having this one. So remove it, and yeah, that fixes it. And now we can be able to see all these other errors that we should fix. So we come down here. So the footer will be so different, and I think it's the one that we really need to fix. So I think the easiest way to go about this is to remove the footer totally. I'll select this up to this point where we have card footer, and I remove this section where we have the footer and remove all that chaos. And you see our component no longer have any errors so far. So first of all, I can save it, and we see if we are making any progress. All we are doing right here right now is to just show the room details, and we are not showing any booking details and so on. So anyway, what I want us to do, I'll remove the room card and these functions. Let's go to the page here and first make a progress on this page. So on this particular page, we will be fetching the data. Then inside this div, bookings that I have made like that dot length. So that will check if we have these bookings that I have made. And then we'll go ahead and say and we'll add a div, and inside this div we'll show a h2, and we will say here are bookings you have made. Actually, we can add some class name to this one. We will make it to be big, so text excel, okay, md. We'll have text as 2 excel, font to be semi bold, and finally margin to the bottom of 6, then margin to the top of 2. Okay, very nice. We come to this one, we add a class name, and we'll say grid, then we'll say grid hyphen calls hyphen 1, then md we'll have grid hyphen calls hyphen 2, then we'll have excel grid hyphen calls hyphen 3, then we'll have a gap here of 6. Now we come in here and we will map through the bookings that I have made. Say bookings I have made dot map. We invoke that, we get a booking at a time, and right here we return the component that we created, which is my booking client component. We import it and we cross it like that. Right here we should be passing a key, and we will say the key is the booking.id, and also we should be passing the booking data, which will be available at our booking. So we have a type issue here, but what we can do to resolve that issue, right here at my booking client, we can say we have room or null, and here we say we have hotel or null, and again that creates a lot of issues at the bottom. The first thing that you can do right here is to take these hooks, any hook to be at the top level. Oops, sorry. Here use alt, take these hooks at the top here, before these hotels here and so on, so that we can add a check. Okay, so right here we'll perform a check. If we don't have a hotel, we expect each booking to have a hotel and a room, so we don't expect it to not have one. We can immediately return right here. I don't know if this is the best solution, but that is what I have for now. And if we don't have a hotel or a room, we can return this, but we expect each booking to actually have a hotel and a room. So maybe you can find a better fix for that. In this case, I'll say that to resolve that type error. Now we can see what we have at my booking. It will not be complete, but it will be some progress. So my booking here, let me refresh it, and once it loads, look, here are bookings you have made. So we don't have all the details, we are just showing the room price and this. So we should be showing more details, like from when date to which date it was booked, whether it's paid or not. But this is a good progress. Okay, we are able to show the rooms here. Now we will do the same for the other one. So I'll just duplicate this one right here, and now instead of bookings I have made, I'll say bookings from visitors. So here I'll say here are bookings visitors have made on your properties. Then here I'll say bookings from visitors, and we save. So now we should be having another list of bookings. So you can see they are exactly the same because all the bookings we did it ourselves. And now all we need to do is to complete my bookings client right here. We will be having a footer, a card footer, but also before we go to the card footer, still inside the card content, we'll be having another div that shows more information about this booking. Okay, and I'll say class name, and I'll flex, then flex will be a column, then we'll have a gap of 2. Then in here I can include a card title, and we will say booking details. Okay, then right here I'll have a div, text to be primary 90 will do. I'll have a div booked by, we include the name, booking dot username. For we include this, we say day count, and right here I'll say days at moment. Then we invoke it, we say booking dot booked at, and right here I'll say dot from now, and we invoke it. So it will be like 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 1 day ago. So I think we can remove the at here, maybe include a hyphen. Okay, so we are just showing some details about this booking, and here we'll have another div. Then here I'll have checkout. Then we'll have end date at 5 p.m. We can say whether breakfast is included or not. Then right here we say if it's paid or not. We can change the color for this one to be text till 500. This is for the case when it's paid, but it's possible that this is not paid, so I'll use a div again here. I include a class name, and right here I'll say text is rows is 500. So we'll be able to see if that booking is paid or not. So if we come now, we'll see we have more details right here. And look, booking details, we can see this is not paid, this is paid, this is paid, this is not paid. So we will be adding a button here where you can actually perform a payment if you haven't paid yet. Now another thing is that we should be knowing the location and the hotel name. Here we just show the room name. So at the top I think we can show the hotel name and its location, so that it's clear where we will be visiting and so on. So the way you format this is upon you. You can also add a simple card, and then when you click on that card, it like gives you more information about the booking. So for my case here, I'm just like giving you a retro guide on how you can go about this stuff. So here I'll add a card title, and I'll actually show the hotel dot title like that. Then right here I'll add a card description. We can show the location. So I'll go to the hotel details. So what I'll do, I'll go to components, hotel details client, and at the top here we had somewhere we listed the location. So I'll just copy this one here, and I can copy the entire div actually. So I'll copy that div, come back here, and I will paste that in here. So that will save me a lot of time. I just need to bring in this, and here I'll say hotel.city. Here we get country and state. We already like created those right here. So we save, and right here we will also add hotel description. So I think we can come here. Okay, the hotel location description. I will copy this one, come here, and I'll actually add another card description, or we can do it inside this one. We can do it inside here, and I paste that one. I'll just include padding to the bottom of 2, and right here I'll call this one hotel dot location description, so we can have some spacing both at the top and the bottom. So padding along the Y. So for some reason I think margin is not working in here. Yeah, so I think that's better. So if the description is bigger, it will really look nice actually. But you can, like, you know, find a better formatting for this part there. Yeah, looks good to me. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So here we'll just include a button which we can actually use to process the payment if we have not paid. I go to the footer now, and we will be having actually two buttons. One, we will use it to show a button for viewing the hotel. So right here, this one will be view hotel, like that. Then right here, it will be disabled if booking is loading. We'll add a variant of outline. We'll have an on click event. We do like this, and I'll say router dot push. I'll say stroke hotel stroke stroke hotel details, then stroke. I'll use these, and I'll say hotel dot id, so they can actually view the hotel that they'll be visiting if they need more information. Okay, very nice. That is the first button. Then here we will be having another one. So we need to perform a check and check if it's paid or not. So booking, then right here dot payment status, and also we'll check if the ID matches. So booking dot user ID is the same as the currently logged in user. If that is the case, and here, okay, not here, but it should be inside these brackets, and we'll say button pay now. We come here, we'll say disabled if we are loading. So booking is loading variant. Then we will have an on click event. We will pass an arrow function that returns handle book room. So that is the function that we customized area at the top. So right here you can see we have an error. This should be small I. And now I save, and we can check this handle book room. So this is the function that we customized right here for booking a room. So this will actually like initialize that process of payment and take you to the payment form. Okay, it appears that we will not be using that one, so I will remove that. Then we will not be using path name, so I remove that. This one here, we will not be using use effect and use memo. So you can remove some of this stuff if you are not actually using them. Yeah, we remove the range, we remove checkbox, we remove that. You can remove some of these. Okay, it will make just the imports to be a little bit more cleaner, which is way better. Okay, there are many things that you are not using. So I think I removed trees and you are actually using a tree, so I import it back. Anyway, that component is now complete. You can make it much better than mine, but you now have like the general guide on how you can go about it. So now we have beach hotel location located at Fort Jesus. Then we have here, okay, all of them are beach hotel because that's only where we added rooms. Here we only have view hotel. You can actually add an eye icon if you want, but for this one, since this one is not paid, we also have pay now. So you can include some spacing between those two buttons. So I'll say class name flex items to be center, justify to be between. I save, and now we have these at the other end. So for pay now, maybe you can make it to be more visible by removing variant. So you'll customize it the way you want it to be. So yeah, now we have pay now like that. Very nice. Okay, so we can click on pay now and see if it will initialize the payment process. Okay, so we are paying from 16th to 19th, and we are paying for 3 days. You can format the data right here better. So I'll click on pay now, and actually it didn't, like, show that we are loading. So you can also add that. So look, we get to this where we can actually process the payment for that room. You can show the loading state. Okay, I save. So that's much better now. And I'll consider that section as done, although you can do much more. Also, you can add some spacing between these and the button. I don't think we have enough spacing. Let's go to the components, booking, then room payment form. Here we had this alert, margin to the bottom of 4. You can also add here margin to the bottom of 4, just to have a better spacing right here. So yeah, pretty nice. So that is it. That is how you can list your bookings, my bookings, people who have booked, the bookings you have made. Also, you can add some filters to only filter down to only the paid bookings, and you can also have my hotels here, where you can actually go and view your own hotels, and you can edit them. At the edit page, you will have the form where you can edit, you can view, you can delete, you can add rooms, and so on. So one last thing that we will do in terms of feature implementation is the filter and also search. So I'll see you on the next one for that.